Hi, I'm Jonathan Rogers, Game Director on Path of Exile 2, and welcome to GGG Live. We have a huge amount of stuff to share today, so it's going to be a good one. Twitch drops are enabled on today's live stream, so you'll be able to claim the Red Queen's font hideout decoration by following the instructions below. Okay, so with that out of the way, time to roll the trailer for Path of Exile 2, Return of the Ancients.
Holy shit.
Those in darkness once lay dormant, now return.
Dude, CGI shit, bro.
We who came
Let's
before
go.
rise again. Behold, the first edict.
Oh. Oh. Oh, yo, I need that! You pinnacle boss! Ritual rework. Oh. That's it. Yo!
Log in. Open that thing up.
Dude, it's PoE 1 breach. It's just PoE 1 breach. Let's go. Hey, it's PoE 1 bosses.
You are completely alone.
Holy. Oh. Bro, there's too many things happening.
25 Kalguur skills.
I remain loyal to the king.
Expedition rework. Okay. Water biome, boys? What is that? How many pinnacle bosses are we up to now? 3? Is that 3?
Hunt like it's your last.
Continue the search.
See what you can find.
Atlas classes. Oh my god, that's the new endgame for Atlas.
Now see how the
15 new bosses and pinnacles? Huh? Oh, oh, yo, that looks so much better. It's all connected as well. Spirit Walker Ascendancy. What the fuck is that? Martial artist? The fuck? 40 new units. 40 new dog shit items. 40 useless items you can salvage instantly. JK. And much more. Holy! Wait, no swords! No swords!
is to face oblivion.
No swords, no duelist. Bro, it doesn't matter. It looks insane. Listen, that dude, the new endgame is gonna be sick. It looks sick. May 29th. Holy shit.
So as you can see, there's just so much going on in Return of the Ancients, it's hard for even us to keep track of it all. Now we promised that this one was going to revamp the endgame, and I'm very excited to talk about it. But first, we've got to talk about the League. So to do that, I'm going to hand things over to Mark.
Hi, I'm Mark Roberts, Game Director on Path of Exile. Now, for those of you who are new to Path of Exile, each time we release an update, we also release a new league. Not only do we have a new economy, but we also introduce new content through the campaign which gives you a fresh play experience right from the start of the game, as well as new mechanics, storylines, and in-game bosses. In the Runes of Eldur League, you will encounter a man being attacked by the undead in Clearfell. After saving him, he introduces himself as Pharaoh, a young blacksmith trying to bring back the ancient art of Ezomite runesmithing. He has been collating his discoveries in a tome and is keen to show you how runesmithing works. By inscribing symbols on these ancient Ezomite remnants, you can create all manner of old magics. Unfortunately, on doing so, the corpses of the nearby undead are revived and infused with some of the latent power, making for a difficult fight.
Okay.
After defeating these monsters, Pharaoh realizes that runesmithing is a dangerous business, and he is going to need the help of someone a little more martially inclined to discover these secrets. He lends you his tome and asks that you note down anything you discover when you return to him. In each area in the Runes of Eldur League, you will find a remnant, and as you approach it, you will notice that some symbols are already present, and some are waiting for you to fill them in. Depending on which symbols are already present, you will have different options for which items you can create using this magic. For example, if you combine Tempest and Lightning, you can create an Orb of Augmentation.
Okay. Whoa. 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 An org. Yo!
But be careful.
Oh, yeah?
The symbols used to craft the items also empower the monsters around the remnant,
Okay.
who will be revived as undead to fight again with different properties depending on what runes you used. So, if you use a fire rune in your recipe, the monsters will be empowered with fire.
Makes sense.
Or if you use a moon rune, lunar beams will rain down as you fight the monsters.
Fucking moonbeams?
After the fight, break the remnant to receive the item you crafted. As you get higher level, you will start to find remnants with more slots for
fuck?
more runes,
What the fuck?
allowing you to craft rarer items. As the number of slots increases though, more waves of monsters will be
It's
added,
like Essence 2.0?
with each wave being empowered by more and more of the runes. And this can get pretty dicey, because some of the runes can have powerful effects.
Dude, what was that one move you did, bro? Oh, it's a Warcry. Well, 4
Like
runes.
the Oath rune, which will cause one monster to be nominated as a leader, spawning waves of minions. The leader itself will be invincible, but killing its minions will deal damage to it.
Okay. Okay, great cast up, okay.
Some recipes can get pretty large, requiring 6, 7, or even 8 runes.
Okay, dude.
But don't worry, you won't have to remember them.
Funny Mark.
Pharaoh's runecrafting book will record all the options, allowing you to simply pick which one you want to craft,
Pick the best one.
given the existing runes that are already on the remnant.
Okay.
To expand your knowledge and to allow you to craft more items, Pharaoh has asked that you keep an eye out for signs of runic magic around Rayclast. He wants to document anything you find in order to rediscover the secrets of Ezomite runesmiths of old. The first of these can be found in Ogham, and reveals to you an ancient secret, buried deep underground. The runic magic which the Ezomites believe to be their own is actually of Kalguur in origin.
Ooh.
Thousands of years ago, the Kalgurans came to Rayclast to find sources of Verisium, a metal on which engraved runes allow control over reality.
Ooh.
Pharaoh is determined to learn these ancient ways and gain mastery over them. If you can bring him more Verisium, he'll be able to use it to smith power into
Runeforging.
any armor, granting you Runic Ward, the power harnessed by the Kalguurans since ancient times.
Oh shit, you just added on to the implicit.
Runic Ward is a new resource that protects you from death. Should you run out of life, your Runic Ward will kick in, sustaining your body until your life can return. It effectively acts as an extra life pool. Of course, should you take enough damage to run out of that, you will still die. Every single piece of armor in the game can be upgraded this way. Even
wow.
uniques.
Oh, what the fuck?
Some are just a strict upgrade, giving Runic Ward with no downside. Others are more extreme, sacrificing defenses to get a much larger amount of Runic Ward.
Huh? Oh, for you externally. Oh my god.
There are even some that add new modifiers to uniques entirely, making them much more viable for higher level play.
Oh wow.
But the Kalguurans use Runic Ward for more than just a defense. It can also be used to power many other magics. Instead of using gems created from corruption, the Kalguurans used runes of power and fueled them with Runic Ward. Many of the options available from Remnant crafting are new types of Kalguuran skills that exclusively spend Runic Ward to wreak havoc. An example is Triskelion Cascade. Using it will cause your next spell to be triggered multiple times in a Triskelion pattern. You can use it with skills like Ice Nova that you cast from yourself,
Ooh.
or with something you target at a distance, like Comet. There are also skills to modify existing effects using runic magic, like Frost Flame Nova. Using this skill on a pack of burning enemies will transform the Ignite into Frostfire, both burning them and building up freeze at the same time.
Yo, what the fuck?
You have basic buffs like Hollow Shell that guards all nearby allies,
Bitch.
to more complicated mechanics like the Mark of Repulsion that creates a mark capable of pushing away all nearby enemies. Instead of spending mana, like skill gems do,
Spend
all
runes.
these skills cost Runic Ward, and unlike gems, they don't have a color. This means that they don't care about attribute requirements, or what kind of weapon you use. These skills are designed to be used on any class, and so often interact with mechanics that apply across many characters.
The colorless.
By combining different runes together,
Card.
the Kalguurans were able to support their runic abilities, and you can as well. There is also a set of runic supports that can be combined with regular skill gems in interesting ways. Concussive Runes allows you to add these concussive shockwaves to any skill that stuns,
Okay.
while Runic
Bone Shatter.
Infusion lets you spend ward to directly empower the damage on any skill. Now, there are other quests during the campaign too, that unlock even more interesting crafting methods. Buried deep in the jungle in Act 3, you can find the Mystic Refuge, containing even more secrets for Pharaoh to learn from. Using this knowledge, he gains the ability to reforge unique weapons.
The fuck?
With this technique, many low-level unique weapons can be upgraded to do significantly more damage.
Yo!
Now, we've been able to take a bunch of uniques that had interesting modifiers, but were not in-game viable, and give them a bit of a boost to get there. And
Okay.
it's not just low-level uniques. All Kalguuran uniques are able to be runeforged this way too, and they can do some pretty interesting things. Like Searle's Grit, a new unique, which when runeforged can get one of several different outcomes.
Don't!
Now, there is still
Don't!
so much more that you can craft with remnants. There are also 100 new runes, as well as many other new crafting currencies. This is the
What?
runes of Eldur after all,
What?
and some of these runes have quite powerful effects. For example, this elemental conversion rune will convert all the existing mods on a non-unique weapon from one element to another. Using it, you could combine a weapon with all 3 elemental damage mods
one.
into a single element. making a weapon with massive amounts of cold damage.
Oh, damn. What the fuck? That's a cool
There is
item.
also a rune that lets you destroy your rune sockets to turn them into a dual socket on your item.
Elon didn't like that one.
And there are even crafting meta runes that can unlock new types of mods when used with regular crafting. For example, this Rune of Chronomancy will unlock a set of time-related mods to be crafted on your boots. Once placed inside, use regular crafting orbs to attempt to get new mods like cooldown speed or increased skill effectiveness.
Damn! It like changes the item
also
base.
create a new type of currency called alloys. Using regular metals alloyed with verisium, new modifiers not normally available can be directly crafted onto your items. Using imbued alloy could improve your ailment damage, for example. There are honestly so many options here that unlock all sorts of crazy
Okay.
crafting projects. So I think people will be experimenting with these for a long time. Once you get to King's March in Act 4, Pharaoh finally meets Danig, a real Kalguuran runesmith. And riddled with excitement, he wants to learn how to merge modern Kalguuran techniques with the ancient knowledge that he has found. From here on, Pharaoh joins in the Kalguuran expeditions that Danig has been leading. With the ancient knowledge that Pharaoh brings to the table, the Kalguuran expeditions that Danig has been going on will change significantly. For those of you who haven't played it, the Expedition League mechanic involves carefully placing explosives, uncovering the buried dead, and recovering verisium from them.
Oh,
By
you
choosing
select
where to
them.
place the
I see.
explosives, you can choose which kind of challenges you would like to face, or rewards you would like to claim. But unlike before, expeditions now contain the remnants from Runes of Eldur, allowing you to do some
that
specific
seems
crafts
way
along the
better.
way using the new League crafting mechanic.
But wait,
One very important
about the
difference
mods?
from the simple remnant encounters, though, is that the empowerments that the remnants grant apply to every monster down the explosive line for the rest of the encounter, stacking together. This can lead to some pretty extreme situations. If you stack too many remnants, you might be in for a fight beyond your abilities, but the rewards can be very worth it. Each mod on the monster is improving the items that they can drop. Once you get to the endgame, you will find that the Atlas has changed substantially.
this is better because it's more brain dead.
To the south,
I like it.
you will now find the coastline of Rayclast, with the ocean beyond. King's March has not fared well after the Cataclysm, and lays in ruins. Rog's shop has been destroyed,
Gotta upgrade it,
but
bro.
he is much more concerned about his wife, Gwennon. He would like to launch an expedition deep into the ocean to find her, and this begins a new major mechanic for expedition, exploring the ocean.
Okay.
Previously, a logbook was a single encounter. Now, using a logbook, you can send ships to explore an area of the ocean to the southeast, uncovering a range of islands to begin your search for Gwennon. You can hop from island to island, doing many new encounters. There are islands with expeditions, grand expeditions,
It's like a giant unique map. It's put into segments.
new bosses, and all sorts of other unique things to find.
Yeah, that's fucking cool. That's a cool idea.
Eventually, you will find the island that Gwennon has been holed up on. It turns out that she has found the tomb of an ancient Kalguuran, Medved.
Medved.
While she appreciates you coming to her rescue, she is still keen to blow open the doors of the vault and take whatever you can find inside. It's just a shame that Medved isn't as dead as you previously assumed.
It's that guy. They ported him and very to
Now, after you have defeated Medved,
Okay.
you will find another logbook. And this time, you can use it to choose which direction you want to explore.
Oh.
The ocean is vast and contains a huge number of new islands to find. With each logbook, you can explore one sector and you can go as deep as you like. There are all sorts of interesting objects to uncover and dungeons to explore. Many of the islands have expeditions with totally new mechanics. So for example, Here is a volcanic island with voltaxic sulfite. Blowing up the sulfite will unleash extra waves of enemies. But there is also this wall with a suspicious light coming from behind it. On blowing it open, a giant ogre comes out, and he is determined to eat as much sulfite as possible.
It's that guy.
The more sulfite mounds that you have blown up, the more empowered and the more rewarding he will become.
He's had that row up at 2.0, bro. Okay.
These islands contain all sorts of little secrets that you can find and blow up. Free trapped wisps, blow open root doors, even raise ancient precursor technology. And of course, more bosses. There are more and further vaults to blow up, and one of them in particular is pretty important. The Tomb of Uhtred, the Star Drinker.
Who the fuck that?
Uhtred was responsible for calling down the meteors of Elysium, which the Kalguurans used to power their ancient magic. And upon defeating him, he calls down a truly gigantic one into the ocean
Yo,
nearby.
it's like Terraria. Gotta get that meteorite, boy.
On visiting it, you find that it is shrouded by a strange energy emanating from the Elysium core of the meteor within. There is something growing in there.
What?
And it can't be anything good.
Oh, shit.
In order to gain entry, Danik suggests that the Triskelion Flame, an ancient Kalguuran artifact that can absorb and cancel the effects of Elysium magic, could be used to enter. But to find it, you will need to locate the Tomb of Olroth, leader of the Knights of the Sun.
That's a big ass chain,
Defeat
bro.
him and gain access to whatever eldritch nightmare is growing inside. Now, we're not going to spoil the boss, but one thing you should know is that the Elysium that makes up the core of the meteor is of a quality that has not been available for millennia.
Oh, dig of Elysium.
Bringing this to Pharaoh and Danik should allow them to forge some objects of power, the creation of which has been lost to time.
I want to pause so bad.
So that's the League,
I wanna
and
pause.
there is a lot going on. To sum all that up, there is a new encounter with over 30 new monster types and over 30 new rune modifiers to enhance them. You can create more than 100 new runes to craft your gear, as well as dozens of other new currency items. And there are new quests added to the campaign to unlock even more new crafting options. Runeforging armors, upgrading uniques, dozens of new Kalguuran skills and supports, tons of new islands to discover by exploring the ocean,
Tell us about the Endgame rework now, baby.
5 new bosses, including a new pinnacle boss,
Oh, shit.
and a bunch of new uniques to top it off. But there is still a ton more to come. It's time to talk about the massive changes to the Endgame.
Yes!
But for that, I'll hand it back to Jonathan.
Let's go!
Now, as Mark hinted at before, the Endgame Atlas is very different now, and the ocean to the south is the least of the changes. The entire area around your starting location is now teeming with new questlines and things to discover.
Ooh.
Will you investigate the strange forest to the west? The cracks in the earth to the east? Or perhaps visit the ruins of a Val city in the north? The Atlas now has fixed points of interest at specific locations, giving you specific objectives that are easy to find.
Yo.
Like before though, no matter which objective you choose, going to towers to see what's out there is always a good idea. The first time you do that though, something new happens. The earth shakes, and a gigantic fortress rises from the earth.
Ooh.
A remnant of the ancient precursor civilization.
What?
The cataclysm of the beast has caused an ancient protocol to be invoked. Should corruption ever take hold to this degree, the world must be scoured and purged of corruption. You'll need to make your way into the fortress and activate the gates.
What the fuck?
Gain the keys to reach these ancient precursor weapons and disarm them. But this will be no easy task. The fortress has many areas to explore and many new things to find. you will power up ancient machines, fight new and deadly foes,
Oh shit. It's that guy.
discover many new areas, and uncover some dark secrets. Now, the Fortress is the first of the new full endgame storylines that we're adding in 050, and there's a lot going on with it. But not only that, it has some pretty cool new mechanics as well. The areas inside the Fortress are special. Many of them have new mechanics or rewards that they grant. Like this map, where all the rares are contained in essence crystals.
Wait, I remember that one.
Or this one, which replaces all monster packs in the area with strongboxes.
Okay, that's a Scarab, PoE1.
Or this one, which spawns an Asmeri spirit that always moves on from a rare after you kill it, allowing you to chase it through the entire map.
Okay. I always skip those.
Now, just like the normal areas of the Atlas, you'll need to fight the map boss of each area to complete the map. But unlike a normal map, the ones in the Fortress each contain precursor nodes after the boss, and activating these nodes will give you points for the new and improved Atlas passive tree.
Oh, okay.
Now, we had an Atlas passive tree before, but it was one of the areas of the endgame that just wasn't up to
Dog
scratch.
shit.
The Atlas tree now works quite a lot differently. We have significantly upgraded the kind of mechanics that you can find on the Atlas tree. Like this one, that gives a chance to make rogue exiles you fight retreat from combat and move to an adjacent map. Before you fight them again, they'll upgrade their gear and come back with a grudge this time.
That's cool.
There are
What?
also a lot of nodes that
Okay.
combine mechanics together in new ways, like this one, which lets Asmeri spirits possess strongboxes. All the regular monsters that come out of them are touched by the spirit, and the rares are all possessed, giving you some incredible loot potential.
That's a cool node.
You get points from every single area you complete in the Fortress, and
so
unlike
separate.
before, that means you can allocate the entire Atlas tree. Yes, this whole tree can be yours. This change is pretty important, since it allows us to
What?
be able to create many types of bonuses that we wouldn't have been able to create before.
What?
Like this one, which gives a chance for cities to be invaded by another faction, and can even allow it to contain 2 faction leaders, allowing you to get 2 crisis fragments. If we'd done this kind of thing in the old tree, we would have wanted to spec into it before running a city map, then unspec out of it before running anything else.
Yeah, that makes sense.
With full allocation, we can have cool bonuses like these. Now, obviously, we still want to make sure that you
See,
have
that you give
choices
us
that
5
define
trees,
your in-game
right?
Atlas build. So many nodes in the Atlas tree are now multi-choice. Everyone will get the node, but which bonus you choose to use is up to you.
That's smart.
Do you want your powerful boss
So you
maps
get to
contain more
choose
essences, summoning circles, or rogue exiles? But there's also nodes that contain more unusual
There's
things.
more choice here.
So for example, on this node you can choose. Do you want to give a chance for shrines to instead be given to the map boss in the area, making them more challenging but dropping special loot?
Hell no. Hell no. Hell no.
Or would you rather give a chance to be given a shrine buff before entering boss arenas,
Yeah.
making for an easier fight?
Yeah, I'm gonna do that one. I'm gonna do that one, bro. Like what? Give me the shrine.
Now, I could probably nerd out about cool stuff in the tree all day, but we should probably get back to the Fortress. Now, one of the really important things we wanted to do was make it so that all the boss fights in the endgame are now accessible with a quest line. That means that to fight the Arbiter of Ash for the first time, you don't need to get lucky by finding keys. They will be in fixed locations and there's a quest to get them. But the Arbiter of Ash is no longer the pinnacle of Path of Exile 2. For that, you'll need to travel into the very center of the Fortress.
Oh shit, the fuck? I have to kill that guy.
An incredible challenge awaits you should you choose to go there. After the storyline, you still unlock keys for pinnacle bosses in the usual way, exploring the world and finding the keys required to get to them. But we have added a lot more interesting things to find out there as well. There are now all sorts of mechanics that can spawn on maps in the wilderness. For example, some maps might spawn as a rogue exile hunting ground, containing multiple rogue exiles who are there to hunt rare beasts. You might come upon them in the middle of a fight and be able to take out both of them. Or a map of champions that makes all the natural inhabitants of the area into magic monsters.
Oh.
Or this one that causes all shrines in the area to release Asmeri spirits when used.
Ugh. Ugh.
Once you have explored and found your keys, you can return to fight the Pinnacle and the Fortress again. But this version of him will be harder. And not only that, he will have new unique rewards as
Oh
well.
shit, the non-tutorial version.
Each time you fight him, you get the ability to activate one section of the fortress, and any maps that you didn't finish there will be automatically completed, giving you all the Atlas points. So if you're the type of player who doesn't want to explore the fortress, and instead just race out into the infinite Atlas, you still have a way to get all those points. So that's the Origins of Divinity storyline. It's a huge amount of new content with a ton of new areas, 5 new bosses, including a pinnacle, with a bunch of new unique items. But not only that, it also completely revamps the Atlas tree, and includes a ton of new map mechanics that you can find both inside and outside the fortress. But this is just one of the new storylines. So let's talk about the next one now. Masters
Multiple,
of the
back
Atlas.
to back, back to
Earlier we
back.
talked about how the multi-choice nodes in the tree allow you to still have an in-game Atlas build, but we didn't think that was quite enough. You have an Ascendancy class for your passive tree. Why not an Ascendancy class for your Atlas tree?
Fuck yeah, bro.
Well, that's where the Masters of the Atlas come in. Throughout Rayclast are many opportunities for those with the skills to find them. Atlas Masters are willing to train you in these skills if you're able to help them in return. One such master is Jado, a member of the Order of the Jinn, an organization that secures powerful artifacts to prevent them from falling into the wrong hands. Jado will send you on missions to investigate strange occurrences on the Atlas and recover the artifacts causing them. And for each one you recover, he will gain more trust in you and teach you more ways of the Order of the Jinn. At level 1, you could choose to massively increase the chance for rare and unique chests, or make it so that all map bosses drop an additional unique item, or make corrupted waystones have an additional modifier,
Yeah.
but at the cost of making them send you to a totally unknown location.
What? Oh, RNG mode, dude. Okay.
Each mission you complete for Jado will unlock another row of abilities and give you another point to allocate, letting you choose how you want to specialize. But there are other masters too. For example, Hilda. Hilda is a member of a guild of monster hunters. She will send you on missions to assassinate specific deadly creatures around Rayclast and harvest their parts. In exchange, she will teach you her monster hunting skills, like this one, which adds a 25% chance to upgrade any map boss to a powerful version. Or this one, which makes his Marian spirits no longer possess rare monsters, making them go for the unique bosses in the area instead.
Ugh, it's awful.
You might notice that many of the effects on these are both upsides and downsides. So Hilda, for example, can make it so that you only get one attempt when fighting pinnacle bosses. But in exchange for that, they always drop 2 uniques.
Ooh.
Because of that, we wanted it to be easy to swap between them depending on what you're doing. As you unlock each master, they will appear on the side of the screen. Simply click whichever one you want to use to run the map, and all the bonuses you have selected for that master will be activated. This allows you to have a few different strategies that you can quickly pick between, depending on what you're running at the moment.
Okay.
Now, one thing that's been pretty obvious is that the endgame leagues we created when launching Early Access in 010 were not really up to the standard of the leagues we did since then. Fate of the Vile and Rise of the Abyssal just have a lot more going on than Delirium or Expedition, for example. We wanted to do a serious upgrade to all of these mechanics before we do our 1.0 release, and so that's what we've done. All 4 of the leagues we launched in Early Access have been upgraded with not only new quest lines, but new mechanics, new crafting systems, new uniques, and new pinnacle bosses. One of the really important changes we made to all the leagues is that you can now find them on the Atlas in specific locations, and each one has a quest line that will lead you there to being able to complete the league, along with its Atlas tree and its pinnacle boss. This is true even for the leagues that we didn't do major redesigns to. So let's use Abyss as an example. When you first encounter one in the endgame, you'll get a quest that leads you to the east, where you will find these mega abyss cracks in the earth leading away from the Well of Souls. All the maps along the cracks will contain abysses with special properties, and mapping along these cracks will close the Atlas scale abysses, giving you points for the Abyss Atlas tree.
Oh, shit.
At the end of each Atlas abyss, you'll find an Abyssal Depths, with the boss fight for one of the Abyssal factions, giving you a guaranteed way to fight them. And after completing all 3, you'll get a key for the Well of Souls, allowing you to fight the Vessel of Kulamak. This kind of
They
thing
fixed
makes
that
an
boss
in-game
yet?
league so much more friendly for new players, giving people obvious goals and a guided experience to
I like
complete
that.
them. Alright, so let's talk about the first of the upgraded leagues, Delirium, and its new storyline, The Hare and the Raven. As you may remember, during Act 4 you were tricked into releasing an ancient entity from a Karui prison known as Tangmazu, the Raven Trickster. Tangmazu delights in breaking the minds of those who step through his mirrors, and when touching one, he will attempt to destroy your mind with twisted abominations generated from your worst fears. In Return of the Ancients, the first time you approach one of his Delirium encounters in the endgame, you will find Elder Maddox locked in a trance. His
Help
mind
him.
is trapped in one of Tangmazu's delusions, and you will need to free him.
It's a little bar, bro. There's a bar.
Once free, Elder Maddox demands that as you caused this problem, you should put it right. He asks you to travel west to the Withered Willow, the location he believes that Tangmazu first gained his powers. But be careful. As you travel there, the Raven Trickster will attempt to break your mind. Each map around the Withered Willow features Delirium encounters. Now this is more than a simple quest upgrade. The mechanic of Delirium has been overhauled and expanded.
Ooh.
At the bottom of the screen, there is now a bar that indicates how deep into Delirium you are. You can see which direction leads deeper by looking at the fog, and the deeper you go, the more challenges you will face. By looking at the bar, you can see how long you have until the Delirium ends.
I'm confused.
And you can also see special encounters that you will face if you're able to go deep enough into the fog. At the end of the bar is always the boss of the map,
Okay.
but we now have a variety of other encounters that you might find as you explore the horrors of your own mind. For example, you might encounter a purple mirror shard that when shattered will cause all the enemies to become more nightmarish. After hitting this, you'll notice the Delirium demons are enhanced,
Oh, shardy.
significantly more powerful, larger, and scarier in general, along with more rewards. Or should you encounter a red mirror shard, you'll be sent into the depths of your mind. And must escape it while
Ah.
fighting off hordes of
What?
your worst fears.
Ah. This looks like that sewer zone.
If you are able to do so, you will gain a powerful amulet with 2 instilled notables on it. Once you reach the Withered Willow, Elder Maddox discovers that a shard of the mirror is missing. You will need to track down Tangmazu and restore it if you have a hope of discovering how to defeat him, and that means entering the Raven Trickster's mirrors in an attempt to locate him. Each area around the Withered Willow contains Delirium encounters, so that's a good place to start. As you do Deliriums, some of the special encounters will drop liquid emotions. Normally these emotions can be used to instill amulets to add notable passive buffs to them, but in Return of the Ancients, emotions have a new function as well. Each one now has the ability to add crafted mods to jewels, allowing you to add specific mods to an item slot that can be quite difficult to roll. For example, Liquid Despair will allow you to add critical hit chance, while Liquid Suffering will allow you to add movement speed or Air of Effect to your jewels, but there are many more.
The fuck?
Once you've done enough Delirium encounters, the location of a Grand Mirror, an entrance into Tangmazu's realm, is revealed, but it won't be that simple to enter. Using his powers, he reflects the map boss for a ridiculous empowered fight, then destroys the entrance into his realm of madness. In order to find him now, you'll need to let the insanity fully into your mind. A strange fruit is left behind which you can consume to fully embrace the madness in an attempt to reach the Raven Trickster's realm. Consuming the fruit will cover an entire area of the Atlas in fog, and every map you do in the fog will get progressively harder
Oh,
and harder
goodness
as you explore
me.
the deeper reaches of your mind. At some point you enter a new layer. A simulacrum of your memories twisted and perverted by the Raven Trickster. Should you be able to complete the simulacrum, Tangmazu will believe that you are worthy of a true challenge, and will let you take the remaining shard of his mirror, allowing you to enter his realm of madness back at the Withered Willow. If you dare to face him, it will be a fearsome challenge.
What the fuck? Alright, that looks cool.
That's the new storyline of Delirium.
That looks crazy.
As you can see, it's not only a quest line, there are new mechanics, new crafting options, and new boss fights. But one question you might have is, what happens after? Well, once you've completed the story, grand mirrors will start appearing on the Atlas sometimes after completing Delirium encounters. After doing the grand mirror, you can select where on the Atlas you want to do your fruit-induced drug trip and get another key to fight Tangmazu. But this time, the fight will be quite a bit harder. And not only that, the fight will be able to drop a bunch of new uniques that were not available in the questline version.
Quest version
We'll
counts.
show some of those later.
Quest version counts, chat.
After doing a grand mirror, the decision of where to spread the fog can be important, because there are some potent emotions
Astro
that only
Globe,
come
yeah.
from certain map bosses affected by Delirium this way.
Like all emotions, they can craft special mods onto jewels, but these potent emotions can create mods that you can't get any other way. So for example,
Potent liquid melancholy is an emotion that can only come from human bosses, and allows you to add a variety of on-hit effects. Also, you might want to try instilling amulets with these emotions. They could have some interesting effects, with some powerful notables that do not normally exist on the tree. Like Storm's Rebuke, which makes armor break boost your cold and lightning damage. But also notables from a clearly deranged mind, like Calm's Blessing. This skill allows you to ancestrally boost fire spells after using a Warcry.
What?
How about using an ancestral Flame Blast? Now, just like before, you can also upgrade the League by getting points for a dedicated Delirium Atlas tree. But this now works in a much better way and has much cooler effects. The maps in the Delirium area of the Atlas give you Delirium passive points for completing them, so it's easy to see how to progress. Some nodes will add new types of mirror shard encounters to your Deliriums. Like this one, which will pause the Delirium for some amount of time, allowing you to more easily get to higher depths. Or this one, which adds extra Delirium modifiers to monsters when you pick it up. There are also nodes that can add new types of drops, like this one, which modifies Simulacrum encounters to add special liquid emotions, which can craft time-lost jewels. And nodes that apply to the Atlas mechanics of the League, like this one, which causes the Grand Mirror to spread Delirium fog over a larger area of the Atlas, potentially containing multiple simulacrums. Alright, so that's the changes to Delirium.
Louise.
The core mechanic now includes a bunch of new things to find, new monsters to kill, and has
I'm getting
new mechanics
overwhelmed,
on the
Jed.
Atlas. It also has new crafting system for jewels, and over 20 new unlockable notables for amulets.
It's very dank.
Not only that, but you have a new pinnacle boss with a bunch of new unique items, and a massively upgraded Atlas tree just for Delirium. But there's still a lot more to come.
Oh,
so let's talk
Jesus.
about Breach next.
The
When you
breach tree.
first do a breach in the endgame, you will find Aelith, one of the Keepers of the Flame, an ancient order of monks dedicated to preventing the Hiveborn from entering the world. As you seem to be a keen slayer of demons, Aelith would like to recruit you to the order and asks that you travel to their monastery to the south. On the way there, you'll start to encounter more breaches, and will notice one of the first changes to the breach mechanic. You still have to kill monsters as fast as you can to keep the breach open, but now you can visibly see how much time you have left to keep it open, and how each kill extends its duration.
It's PoE 1.
Once you've reached the monastery, you will learn more about the Keepers. In the 25 years since the events of Keepers of the Flame in Path of Exile 1, the war with the Hiveborn has not gone well, and they have managed to establish a foothold in the world nearby. A gigantic area has fallen to the Scourge, and the Keepers are unable to get inside. Inside the monastery is the Genesis Tree, a powerful asset to the war effort, stolen from the enemy and gifted to the Keepers by the Dreamer himself. Using the tree, Aelith could create a breach stone and penetrate the Hiveborn foothold, but without Hive Blood, the tree has withered.
The Hive Blood.
To get Hive Blood, you will need to take advantage of another new mechanic of breach.
That's literally just PoE 1.
If you can keep the otherworldly portal open for long enough, the breach will stabilize and will enter a new phase.
Yep.
The Hiveborn will send their toughest miscreations to defeat you, and the breach will not close
This
until
is
you
a
can
good
annihilate
breach.
them, dropping Hive Blood that you can use to restore the Genesis
This is
tree.
way better breach. UI needs to be worked on a little bit.
In some cases, you may even attract one of the deadliest foes the Hiveborn can offer,
That's Varun.
a Marshal of Zesht. These monsters also drop womb gifts, and if you take these to the Genesis tree, they can be used to craft items to help you in the war against the
Whoa,
Hiveborn.
what the hell is a womb gift?
Given that 25 years have passed since the beginning of the war, the tree has grown and withered many times.
This is
But
crazy,
with each
bro.
cycle, it learns and expands its abilities. When you first open the Genesis tree, you will notice these holes into which you can place your womb gifts.
Ooh, damn, this is bigger.
Each
That's
womb
bigger.
gift can be used to create a different type of jewel
bigger.
and must be fertilized with Hive Blood. So for example,
Amulet.
you can place this amulet womb gift into the tree and it will give birth to a random rare amulet. But the Genesis tree is capable of much more. As you continue to feed the tree, its branches will regenerate and allow you more and more control over what kind of items it will birth. So for example, this branch of the tree will allow you to control which base types of amulets can be birthed.
Oh my god. What?
And as you go deeper, it will even allow you to create new base types that you can't get anywhere else.
That's very specific. So Harvest 2 just dropped, boys. Harvest 2 just
Like
dropped.
this one, which gives you an entire spirit skill for free. Or this one, which has a rune socket in it.
Ooh, Ooh.
To the left and right are branches that will let you control which mods the amulet can get, including making sure that they're higher level,
God damn!
or controlling which specific mods that they will always have. With 15 points to allocate, you will have to choose wisely how you want to specialize your crafts, but it's worth noting that this tree doesn't have any cost to respecing it.
Yeah.
You can enable or disable the nodes at any time by
Very
clicking
good
on
for
them.
SSF.
On rings, we've also added some really interesting new crafting options as well. You have a bunch of new base types like these, but you also have entire new classes of mods that can be added.
I need to pause.
The right-hand branch of the ring tree adds an entire new set of caster mods to rings. From basics like extra elemental damage for spells, or more niche options like this mod that increases the rate you gain seals for Unleash.
Okay, 17% increase.
And on the left-hand side, you can unlock an entire new set of mods for minion characters. This stuff is actually pretty important, because casters and minion builds didn't have as many slots with interesting item crafting compared to attack builds. The Genesis tree narrows that gap. There are also trees for belts and currency. I won't go over them too much here, but there are all sorts of goodies in these too, like being able to create new catalysts for jewels, or a belt that gives lightning damage.
Okay.
Once you've done enough breach encounters, you may finally get a womb gift capable of birthing a breach stone. And you can then use it on the Hiveborn incursion. Once used, the true extent of the Breach Demon's foothold becomes clear. They have not only transformed the land, but constructed huge sky hives as well. When you enter the outskirts of their realm, you will discover breach hives. Using the power of the Keepers of the Flame, these otherworldly structures can be burned away when walking through them. But for each one destroyed, more of the Hiveborn will attack when you attempt to purge the hive. These encounters are particularly rewarding for womb gifts, so you'll want to do as many of these as you can. But your real goal are the sky hives deeper into the domain.
Yo.
These twisted creations are securing the demon's entry into our world. Inside the very center are the Breach Lords Tool and Ash, and you will need to defeat them if you want to get rid of the foothold once and for all.
What
Now,
if this
once
fight's
you've
gonna be better?
completed the questline version, there is still more to do. You will find other breach domains on the Atlas randomly in your travels. For each one, you will need to find a breach stone, destroy the sky hives, and defeat the Breach Lords.
It looks exactly the same, right?
And
It's
doing
one
these
to one.
encounters is what will give you access to fight Zesht, the existing Breach Pinnacle boss, which you can access by communing with the Dreamer himself inside the monastery.
Oh my god, he comes out. He comes
While
out.
completing the questline for Breach, you will also be gaining points for the Breach Atlas tree, and there are a lot of cool new options here. This node will cause Breach hives to spawn outside of the Hiveborn domains on the Atlas. And this one will give Aelith additional abilities that you can use while attacking a hive. Like this one, which causes all Hiveborn in the next wave to be magic, drastically increasing their difficulty in exchange for way more items.
It's better than the other design in
There
PoE
are
1.
also nodes that allow you to control your rewards, like this one, which adds a set of new lineage supports to the Marshal of Zesht.
Oh.
Or this one, which lets you control which womb gifts you will get.
Oh, yeah.
There's also some nodes that affect the Genesis tree, like this one, which will cause Zesht to drop his head, which when returned to the Genesis tree, will grow a grasping orchid on the side of it. You'll have to experiment to find out what this thing is good for. Putting rings on its fingers seems to make it happy.
You get Skin of the
So
Lords.
that's a rundown of what you can expect from the new Breach questline.
Yeah, that's
There's
so...
a new stabilization mechanic for breaches, hive
my
encounters,
What the
and
fuck?
Hiveborn incursions on the Atlas. But you also have a huge new crafting system and new bosses as well. Alright, so let's talk about the Rite of the Nameless storyline next. When you first complete a ritual on the
ritual.
Endgame, Aoife, a lost spirit, will appear.
I hope they make it
She
better.
appears to need your help, but isn't able to communicate more than a few words, beckoning you to come to the Wildwood. Like the other leagues, Ritual now has a place on the Atlas to call home. The Wildwood could be found to the west. When you first arrive there, Aoife's spirit will guide you in, where you will discover that inside the Wildwood, spirits can take physical form. Aoife has been bound to this place by the King in the
Wait, is
Mists
this gonna be
and
Ina?
requests that you free her. But in order to do so, you will need her body, currently in possession of the King. To reclaim it, you will need to gain an audience with him. Inside the Wildwood, there are many ritual encounters to complete. Like before, in each area, triggering rituals will resurrect the nearby bound monsters to attack you, and killing the monsters will give you tribute. In addition, each ritual you do in the area will add the monsters from the previous ritual, making the encounters much more challenging the more rituals you complete. Once you've completed them, spend your tribute to get items. Now, an important change to the rewards of Ritual is that all the items in the reward window are now uniques or omens, making this league's rewards much more valuable than before.
Oh!
In order to gain an audience with the Nameless King, you need to sacrifice tribute to him. Any remaining tribute you don't spend can be sacrificed this way to fill up this bar. Once you have enough tribute for an audience, return to the Wildwood to divine his location
that
with the
queen
Nameless
down there?
Shrine. His location will be revealed deeper in the Wildwood, and you will need to make your way to him, kill him, and get Aoife's body.
Your Atlas tree will change it, right? What drops in the ritual? Sure.
Using her body, you can attempt to release her spirit, but this is when you learn about the true threat of the League. The Wildwood is built on top of an ancient prison. The King in the Mists didn't gain his power out of nowhere. He was granted it by an ancient being of darkness known as the Bodark, and the Nameless King's use of this power has been causing the prison to weaken.
Oh, Jesus.
In order to prevent the Bodark from entering the world, a champion will need to enter its prison and beat him back, but those with a name are unable to survive there. In order to do so, you will need to transfer your name to another with a new mechanic in the Ritual League, the Rite of the Nameless. The rite will begin in a nearby forest. At first, it appears to be a regular ritual encounter, but that will soon change. The final ritual of the area will include the map boss,
Oh!
and defeating him will give you a piece of the effigy onto which you will transfer your name. But the ritual is still not complete. Once the map boss is defeated, the Atlas will open, and you will need to pick another adjacent map to continue the ritual. During the rite, each adjacent map will have different rewards to tempt you. So for example, if you go in this direction, you gain significantly more tribute. But if you go in this direction, the uniques in the reward window will turn into currency instead. You can also sometimes get offered specific
Mage blood.
items that will be added as rewards.
Mage blood.
So in this case, you'll have to choose if you want to get 5 Chaos Orbs or a Mage Blood. A difficult decision, I'm sure. Now, as this is one continuous ritual, the encounters in the next map won't start from scratch.
Wait, what does Mage
They
Blood do?
contain all the monsters that were gathered from the rituals of the previous map as well, making them harder and harder. And that includes the map boss too. You will need to defeat both map bosses in the final encounter for your next effigy piece. And it still doesn't end there. Pick another map, another reward, and add another map boss to continue until the ritual of the Nameless is complete.
Fucking Christ.
It will
Look at
take
that
5
UI
maps in
though.
all, and will be an incredible challenge.
That UI's crazy.
But once complete, you can return to the Wildwood to perform the final rite. Transfer your name to the effigy, adorn the crown of the Nameless King, and enter the prison.
Some cool effects, bro.
Now, of course, once the Pinnacle boss is complete, the League doesn't end there. As you do rituals on the Atlas, you can continue to give tribute to the King in the Mists for another audience. Pick another forest to begin the Rite of the
That
Nameless
seems
once more,
way less aids than
and
current
this time
ritual.
with a harder Pinnacle boss and new unique items to find. Of course, we've also significantly upgraded the Ritual Atlas tree. Get points by completing maps in the Wildwood, and you'll be able to unlock some pretty cool nodes. Some of them affect the Rite of the Nameless, like this one, which extends its duration. You thought fighting 5 map bosses at once was hard? How about 6? Or this one, which makes maps during the rite have more reward mods, often having 2. You also have nodes that allow things to combine with other content, like this one, which gives a chance for rituals to be created inside summoning circles, adding a random boss to the ritual encounter. There is even a node which adds a new type of possible ritual, the Audience with the Queen, which causes the Bride of the King to sometimes appear.
Bro, DEI.
Okay, so that's ritual.
But let's have a look at what this means for endgame content as a whole for Path of Exile 2.
When you include the expedition changes made by the League, we have a total of 5 new in-game storylines, each of which has a hub, crafting systems, areas to explore, NPCs, and a pinnacle boss as a capstone. Not to mention the Masters of the Atlas storyline as well. But more importantly, you now have immediate quests as soon as you arrive at the endgame, and goals with obvious progressions that you can see how to finish. Each endgame questline has a progress bar that you can pop out from the side of the Atlas screen at any time that shows you how far through you are, and buttons that will take you to the hubs for them. Overall, it's just a way better in-game experience with a significant number of fun objectives to complete. But just in case you didn't have enough goals, we did have one other thing that you might want to complete this league.
Whoa.
These are called challenge leagues after all. Where are all the challenges? Well, players of Path of Exile 1 will be used to the fact that each league comes with a series of challenges that you can complete in order to prove that you are indeed the best. We haven't done these yet in Path of Exile 2, but it's time to change that. If you're able to complete them, you'll earn pieces of the Knight of Alder armor set.
That looks sick!
Opening the challenge screen will show you a series of 8 challenges. After completing each one, anyone in chat or in the forums will be able to see your prowess.
Default would never.
In addition,
Default would
you'll get
never.
a statue to put in your hideout showing anyone you trade with
Literally
how many
free.
challenges you've completed. You'll earn the first piece of the armor set after doing 2 challenges, and the full armor set after completing all 8. So that covers all the content you'll encounter in Return of the Ancients. But what about some new tools to fight against these new pinnacles with? Well, we also have some new ascendancy classes as well, but to introduce them, I'll hand you guys back to Mark.
As Jonathan said, we have 2 new classes to show you today, the Spirit
Yo.
Walker and the Martial Artist. Let's start with the Huntress's new class, the Spirit Walker. The Spirit Walker has developed an affinity with the Asmerian animal spirits. She is able to infuse the power of multiple spirits of her choosing.
Blizzard's gonna sue you, bro.
On the bottom part of the class, you will find paths for each wisp you would like to commune with, be they primal, vivid, or wild. Each one can give you different abilities that align with the stag, owl, or bear. Each ability gives you a method to become possessed by wisps of that type, and a new ability when you
That's
spend
cool.
them.
What?
The stag allows you to summon stampedes when you attack. The owl grants boons in the form of their feathers, which adds extra projectiles and enhances the projectile speed of your next
That's
skill.
that clown shit, bro.
And the bear simply summons a giant bear companion to your side.
Hey. Yo, I like the
Will
beer.
maul, slam,
Whoa.
leap, and do intimidating roars to debuff your
Bro, that's
enemies.
cool. What? That's cool. I like the beer. I like the beer.
Now you can specialize more into each of these wisps, but if you want to combine all 3 of them, then a new hidden power will be unlocked. The power of the Sacred Wisps. This node is free and enhances the quality of all 3 of your spirit animals. Your bear will take some of the damage you take and grant you life regeneration.
Oh.
Your stags will become more aggressive, leaping towards enemies. And your owl-empowered skills will leave a trail of soaring ground behind them. But that's not all. The Spirit Walker has other powers beyond wisps, such as Idolatry, which can give you large bonuses for using idle socketables in your equipment.
Sacrilege.
And this one, which is my absolute favorite. The Spirit Walker, having attuned herself with nature, can gain the ability to tame beast bosses, opening up a whole suite of very cool options for your build. Maybe you tame the mighty Silverfist in the jungle depths.
What the fuck is that? Dead ass.
Or maybe a 3-headed chimeral beast in the chimeral wetlands.
What the fuck is this clown shit, dude? No way. That's crazy.
Or then there's a giant frozen owl beast, Rakar, the frozen talon. There's so many choices. You're going to have to experiment a bunch with this one, and I'm very excited to see what bosses you all choose to have as your trusted boss companion.
That seems
Next
like it's
up,
gonna be
we
broken.
have the Monk's new Ascendancy class, the Martial Artist. After decades of training, he has mastered 3 of the 7 Hollow techniques. Channeling Hollow Form technique allows the Martial Artist to create illusions of himself, which then use a skill of your choosing. Perfect for turning skills with less area of
he's
effect
Naruto.
into ones that can obliterate packs with ease. Should you find yourself overly vulnerable while channeling, you might want to take Way of the Mountain, which causes you to be covered in stone when you immobilize enemies, mitigating large amounts of damage. This can even enhance your attacks too. By hardening your weapon in stone, you can deal even more damage. After taking Hollow Focus technique, you can manifest your spiritual energy into objects. In this case, bells, which will appear around the martial artist and can be shattered by any of his attacks, even ones from the Hollow Form technique earlier. Hollow Resonance technique furthers that by adding a manifested bell to your back, which rings each time you deal a critical strike, damaging all enemies around you.
Yeah, I'll fuck with that. The cock
Through
bell.
all the martial artist's thorough training, he has mastered the flow of internal spiritual energy too, and has engraved runic tattoos around his meridians. By doing this, he can gain the benefit of extra runes. Just open your inventory and add the runes. There is one that counts as a helmet,
Fucking D4
two
ass
as a body
ascendancy, bro.
armor, one as gloves, and one as boots.
God damn.
Finally, your hands. The ultimate expression of a master of the martial arts. Taking Way of the Stone Fist will cause your gloves to become a new base type when equipped. Each modifier on the original pair of gloves has an equivalent, more powerful, and more impactful modifier. For example, these gloves add some physical damage, cold damage, lightning damage, some resistances, and life gain on hit. Now, when I equip these, they become literal fists of stone, and not only grant me a bunch more evasion and energy shield, they now also grant a lot more damage,
Fuck.
some maximum resistances, and a significantly higher amount of life gained on hitting enemies.
What are those?
With all the different rune combinations you could do, and the different modifiers on gloves, there's a ton of different build options, and we're looking forward to seeing what you can come up with.
That looks broken as hell. I might play this guy, bro.
Now, with so many new bosses in Return of the Ancients, of course we want to have a huge number of unique rewards. There are some pretty cool things in here, so we wanted to show you a few of them. Twisted Empyrean is a two-handed mace made from the purest of Verisium, combined with the beast's corruption. It converts all of your mace's skills fire damage to cold, and visually does so too, turning your volcanic fissures into glacial ones.
Okay.
This mace also comes with its own built-in skill, Starborn Onslaught. Using Glory, you can leap backwards, throwing your mace at the ground, creating Verisium fissures, before calling behind it a storm of cold metallic bolts from the stratosphere.
Okay, it's kind of cool.
Next, we have Eventide Petals, an amulet that not only grants runic ward, but also comes with its own reservation skill, Midnight Zenith.
Zenith?
This skill causes your critical hits to grant Arctic petals that hover around you. Once you have acquired enough of these petals, they will be consumed, creating a floral ice crystal near an enemy. Then, destroy that crystal to do devastating cold damage to everything around it. The Raven's Flock is a staff perfect for minion characters.
Looking?
Not only does it grant spirit reservation efficiency and minion damage, it also allows your minions to inflict grueling madness on hit,
That's a nice mod.
slowing enemies and making all other slows on them more powerful, for maximum crowd control. That's not where this item shines though. It grants a skill called Spiraling Conspiracy. This skill causes a flock of ravens to circle you, dealing damage over time to anything near them. Killing enemies,
ramping.
or just by standing near unique enemies, causes the flock to grow,
ramping.
getting larger and larger. For your PoE 1 players,
RF.
you can think of this just like a Raven Righteous Fire.
Yep.
That's not all, however. These ravens are also minions, so they fully scale with minion damage and come with their own command skill,
New
Mad
RFL, boys.
Flight. This command skill causes your flock to create a tunnel of deathly damage between a set of illusory mirrors, obliterating anything in between.
Just one button, baby. And you can click it. It's passive and it's got an active, bro. Bro,
Horror's Flight
PoE
is a
1
pair
build.
of gloves instilled with the purest of fear. Equipping these causes your enemies to become terrified of you. These gloves cause you to gain stacks of fear incarnate when you cull enemies. To aid in your culling, these gloves also come with the skill Crushing Fear. This is similar to the monk skill Killing Palm, except it deals chaos damage, and the amount of damage and area of effect scales drastically based on the
Jesus.
power of the enemy. As you use this, gain your stacks of Fear Incarnate, which increases your culling
One-shot the whole
threshold,
map.
meaning enemies become easier and easier to cull.
Is that 100%
Even
kill
to
or
the
what?
point of being able to instantly kill some monsters from full life.
What the fuck? So it's a flat life cull.
Sylvan's Effigy is a scepter for those wanting to run companions. It allows you to have any number of companions of different types, instead of the normal restriction of just one per type. But what makes this cool is the Asmerian wolf companion it comes with. This is a persistent minion
Look at him.
that bites foes to maim them, leaps to cause bleeding, and even howls to buff nearby allies.
The dog build.
Additionally, it comes with the command skill Eternal Hunt, which when used it will howl, calling on the spirits to manifest spectral wolves to ambush all foes around
Damn!
you. Liminal Coil is a crazy wand. It allows you to apply as many curses as you please, but those curses will have no effect. What's the point then? 2 reasons. Firstly, your spells gain a bunch of extra physical and chaos damage for each curse on enemies. Secondly, is the skill it grants called Coiling Bolts.
Okay.
This skill is a projectile spell that fires coiling physical and chaos projectiles with every cast. What makes this skill truly special though, is that it will split and chain through every cursed enemy, causing an absolute ruckus.
Fucking
See for yourself.
ruckus! It looks OP as
Periphery
fuck.
is a unique bow, which utilizes all the powers of the Asmerian spirits by dealing damage of all elements. And all elements can cause all ailments. The coolest thing about this bow, however, is the Asmerian Swarm skill. These are minions that are summoned when you kill enemies. They will pursue all nearby enemies, damaging them and inflicting a debuff on them that boosts your elemental damage even further. Watch as you mow enemies down, and the swarms of Asmerian wisps aid you,
They're showing
melting
pretty juiced
enemies
builds,
one
aren't
screen
they?
at a time.
They're not doing like the ZDPS build thing. They're doing like, they're showing characters that are just like one-shotting everything.
The Ordained is a new spear, mastering in physical and lightning damage,
Level 90.
with high critical strike chance too. This spear allows you to leech life not only from physical damage, but lightning too. It also creates a fragment of divinity nearby periodically. What are those?
Dude, that's from
Well,
the end boss.
This spear has the skill Righteous Descent,
Yo.
which is an epic, divine leap, aided by angelic wings. If you use the skill when a fragment of divinity is nearby, it will become empowered, dealing significantly more damage, gaining massive area of effect, and bypassing its cooldown.
Yo.
When fighting a boss, let a bunch of the fragments spawn, and then just unleash your divine havoc, obliterating
The
them.
fuck is that?
Last,
Bro,
but
PoE
not least, we have a new unique
one.
jewel. Voices.
0.5.
Voices is simple. It consumes 1 jewel slot to add more. There are versions that add 2 jewel slots, 3 jewel slots, and for those who are absurdly lucky or rich, one with 4 jewel slots.
What
Equip
the
it and notice the
fuck?
slot appear next to your character's portrait in the center.
Oh.
One of the things
Interesting.
we are concerned about is how long it takes for experienced players to replay through the game in each new league.
That's broken as fuck.
As we learned from Path of Exile 1, one of the things that can really help is having elements in the campaign that tell you where to go, if you know what to look for. We'll cover just one example per act for Acts 1 to 3, but there are many more than just these. For example, Hunting Grounds in Act 1 is a large, sparse area, containing multiple entrances and landmark encounters. Here's an example of some of the changes we've made here. Finding the ritual encounter in this area isn't too difficult. Now after completing it, a trail of locusts will lead to the entrance to Freythorn. Just follow it and find the source of the evil. You may also find corpses of dead animals, killed and pecked at by the crowbell. You'll notice a trail of blood leading away from them. Follow the trail and it will lead directly to the boss.
That's cool.
We even put a signpost on the road to tell you which way to go to find Ogham Village. In Act 2, in the Mastodon Badlands, you need to find the lightless
God, I
caverns
always forget
and
this one.
track down the abyssal.
Always forget this one.
Now to make this quicker, in the level you'll find these cracks. Just follow them, and it will take you right to their lair, allowing you to find and unlock the Well of Souls.
This is not yellow paint, chat.
In
Yellow
Act
paint is
3,
yellow paint.
The jungle areas have
This is
camps
visual
of explorers
storytelling,
to
bro.
sell you items. However, they are now even more useful. By talking
Nah.
to the explorers, they will
It's
point
unique and
towards the
bespoke.
next area. Not only that, but it will also reveal it on the minimap, so you can know exactly where to go.
Okay.
These are just some examples. We plan to do more and more of these
Just
over
put them on
time
the
in
map.
order
Too bad,
to
bro, too
streamline
bad.
the experience.
Too bad.
Now, as this is an endgame expansion, it makes sense that we would work on Atlas QOL. We've added a search box that updates live as you type. Have a specific map you want to run?
Yo.
Now they will be much easier to find. If there are multiple maps, hitting enter will move you from map to map.
Ooh.
Now, making a character build in Path of Exile 2 can be pretty complex.
That's insane.
And instead of designing a build yourself, many players enjoy
God.
following online
Doing
build
profiles?
guides.
No way.
We have a pretty awesome community that has built many tools over the years for designing builds, but we wanted to improve the experience of following them.
Dead
So,
ass.
We are
They're doing
introducing a new build guide system directly into the game
What
client.
the fuck?
Here's how it works. Community creators who write build guides can now create a new file format, a build file. Once downloaded, the builds
So
appear
PB will do
in the
this straight
in-game
away.
client, and selecting one will show you everything you need to know to make that build.
Jesus Christ.
So you can see all the passives you need to allocate, ascendancy points you need to take, skill gems you need to equip,
Oh,
and
wow.
recommendations for all the support gems you need to use as well.
Wow.
For items, the build designer can specify which uniques to use in each slot, or if needed, just add some notes to the item slot.
Oh my
to
god,
say
this is
what
gonna
kind of item you need.
POB. It's gonna be so good for making your own builds.
In fact, build creators can add notes to just about any of these
I'm gonna
areas,
put dicks on everything, bro.
allowing them to explain different trade-offs in context, or just give more info
I'm gonna
about
put
how
dicks
these
on
things
everything,
should
bro.
be used. They can also give level ranges to each element, allowing recommendations to change over time.
That's crazy.
Great for builds that need to
What?
respec after they reach a certain level. Now, all of this is written in a standardized build format that creators can use.
POB's gonna
And we
make it.
imagine that a lot of community build tools will be updated to add
POB.
support for this format. Now that we have trade market searching built into the in-game client, we have added the ability to price check items you can find
work.
more easily. Control-Alt-clicking an item will now search for it on the trade market, showing you the current prices.
Holy
For rare items,
shit.
it's handy to exclude some mods. So we added the ability to enable and disable each mod so you can see what effect each one has
Trade
on the
League is gonna be
price.
so easy now, bro.
Next up, we're going to be talking about the new supporter packs for Return of the Ancients. Today, we're launching 2 new series of supporter packs, the Blood Reaver and Divinity packs. Each tier contains the pack's full face value in points, alongside several exclusive microtransactions. As always, the microtransactions in these packs are purely cosmetic and do not affect your character's power or progression in any way. The Blood Reaver series of supporter packs contains 6 exclusive microtransactions. Let blood fuel your bloodshed. The Exsanguinator weapon effect draws the blood of enemies you've slain and funnels it into your weapons.
Okay.
Turn the appearance of your endurance, frenzy, and power charges into orbiting globules of blood with the Blood Reaver charges. While your charges are active, these blood orbs will grow in size when you absorb more blood from nearby enemies. There are options to have pure blood charges, or charges that still display which kind of charge they are at their core.
More blood for the
A
blood.
taste for blood doesn't negate a taste for style. The Elite Blood Reaver armor features crimson leathers and golden accents to set yourself apart from uncivilized leeches. It also features a back attachment, fashioned out of the wing of a colossal bat. Alongside every Blood Reaver is their trusted gargoyle pet. In true gargoyle fashion, they take the form of a stone statue when you are idle,
Well, I don't get
leaping
pets.
into action when you're on the move
Who
again.
likes pets? I hate the pets.
What good is immortality if you don't have a vast mansion to come
I hate
home to
it.
at the end of the day? The Eternal Blood Reaver supporter pack contains the Blood Reaver Manor Hideout. This exquisite 2-story estate features an organ, a grand dining table,
Dude, what the fuck?
and cages for your visitors.
Yo, that looks
You
sick.
can alter the walls to create as many or few rooms as you like. Last but not least, the Servant of the Manor, eternally bound to the Order of the Blood Reavers. This henchman will manage your store, so you can spend more time spilling blood.
Stop that. We won't disappoint you. But if we do, you've our permission to beat us most violently.
Jesus Christ, this guy's a cuck,
The Divinity
bro. This guy's a
Pack
cuck.
series also contains 6 exclusive microtransactions. Call on Divinity to aid you in eluding enemy hits with the Divinity Dodge Roll effect. As you sprint,
fuck is
actual
this?
divine lightning wings will form out of your back,
Jesus.
leaving a trail of radiance as you engage or escape from combat. For situations that are too dicey, call on the gods above
That's a cool
to
portal.
send down the Storm of Divinity portal
That's a cool portal.
to create a safe passage for you to retreat
I'll
through.
fuck with that portal.
Adorn yourself with the Knight of Divinity armor set, a highly revered attire only bestowed to those deemed worthy for the divine cause.
Okay.
Equipping the Divine Surge character effect empowers you with a storm of divine energy. Using skills causes the storm to burst from your character, spilling raw divinity into the area around you.
This is
The
good for
Arbiter
Paladin
of
when they release
Divinity
Paladin,
wings are
right?
the final piece remaining to emphasize the force divinity has over this realm.
Oh my god.
This ancient precursor machine was found locked away in a highly guarded vault. Its original purpose is unclear, but it has been altered to fuel your maps using the pure, everlasting divinity within the statue.
The womb, bro, the womb.
The pillars surrounding represent how many portals you have left for your map. This map device also tracks your progress as you complete the new Origins of Divinity storyline, added this expansion. Additionally, all microtransactions from the supporter packs will be made available for use in Path of Exile 1. On release weekend, we will also be releasing the Return of the Ancients mystery box, which will contain 2 armor sets, a set of map devices for your in-game adventures, a new tracking scroll that records the amount of currency you've gained from the currency exchange or your shop, and much more, like a set of finisher effects and affinity stashes. That's not all, however. The Fragment Stash tab is finally coming to Path of Exile 2, and with it comes some tabception. Inside this one tab, there's a tab for your various boss key fragments. There's also a tab for all your precursor tablets, with each type of tablet getting 6 tabs of storage.
Giga tabs.
Finally, there's a tab for your Djinn barriers and inscribed ultimatums,
Ultra tabs.
both of which get their own 6 tabs.
Tabs for your tabs.
That's a lot of tabs.
Holy shit.
So that's everything in 050. This is by far the biggest update we've ever made to PoE 1 or 2.
Boom.
New in-game storylines,
Hold it.
pinnacle bosses, crafting systems, items, ascendancy classes, and so much more.
No swords though.
Now, because this update contains so much in-game content, we're doing significantly more testing than usual. For that to happen, we're taking a little longer than usual between the announcement and the release.
Yep.
050 will be released in 3 weeks on May the 29th, with the patch notes being released on the Friday before that,
Okay.
on May 21st.
Okay.
But there's just one more thing to talk about.
Oh.
Now that the endgame is up to scratch, we have to start talking about our plan for 1.0 release.
Oh!
The feedback we've had during early access has been critical for making all the improvements that we'll be making to the game. At the same time, we had to create enough in-game content to make an RPG that can call itself a successor to Path of Exile 1.
True.
Well, with 050, we now believe we have reached that point. And so this is going to be the last full-size league during early access. That's right. The next big update is going to be 1.0. Now, normally we would do our next big content release in August.
We get XLCon
but in
though.
the run-up to full release, our plans take a little longer on this one.
Yeah.
As big as 050 is, 1.0 is even bigger. So we'll be launching 1.0 this year sometime after ExileCon. But that doesn't mean we won't be doing updates in the meantime.
What?
In this final phase,
This
we have a lot
year?
of things to polish throughout the game and balance to improve. I'm sure there'll also be feedback about the new endgame that we need to incorporate too. The difference is that the focus is not going to be on adding more content like the previous updates, it's going to be on improving what we already have. But we still want to encourage people to try out all the balance changes and improvements that we're making. So we're going to be running a few event leagues during this phase alongside each update. Think remixes of existing mechanics or features. And speaking of ExileCon, don't forget to pencil it in on the weekend of November the 7th in New Zealand. ExileCon is a gathering of our players, and a chance for us to showcase everything we're working on for both Path of Exile 1 and 2. And this one will be particularly important for us, since we finally get to unveil some of the coolest content that we've been working on for a while now with Act 5 and 6.
Preach
Tickets
gaming.
for the in-person event are currently sold out, but don't worry, all the announcements and talks are going to be streamed online for all of you to watch. Now, I'm personally so excited for this. This is the year that PoE 2 comes out. The campaign is finally finished. It's been 8 years to get here, but we're finally near the finish line. And with that, it's time to move on to our live Q&A.
Holy shit. Wait, bro, this dude,
It's coming, dude. The end of this year, dude, December 12th.
they just announced it. It's a December 12th, it's a December 14th launch. Confirmed. Classic. The audio's fucked. Classic. The audio's fucked with the Q&A. It's always fucked with the Q&A.